Alright guys, so I'm filming this intro before we jump into the video. This is, of course, the end result of what you're about to see. Again, I mentioned it over and over again. The way that I applied this wig is the method I use to teach beginners as to how to go about applying frontals with adhesive. So if you are interested, please be sure to stay tuned. Hopefully the video isn't too long. I'm gonna try and edit it to be as concise yet thorough as possible. But before you watch this video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Definitely do that just in case you like what it is that you do see and you want to get more and see more of me. You feel me? Anyway, until next time, guys, I will see you in my next video. Hey, y'all. So today what I'm going to do is show you all a super, I guess, beginner-friendly way of putting your wig on that I find still being able to do this with perfection still helps me at times whenever I'm in a rush or it's a way that I, teach people who are new at this. So yeah, I'm again barefaced because I'm going to be putting on makeup later. Anyway, hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hey everyone, welcome back. So today what I'm going to do is show you all a super, probably the easiest beginner-friendly way of applying wigs to your head, and maybe not even wigs, I would say frontals to your head. I'm surprised my hands aren't this color because this wig is very, very blue, like almost exactly like what it is that you're seeing on camera. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to show you beginners friendly method of how I go about applying wigs to my head. Hopefully this helps a lot of you out there out. The next video, of course, is going to be me putting on makeup because I'm looking a little plain Jane right now. Anyway, let's just jump straight into the video. So as usual, I will be using a few products today. I'm going to be using some Firm Hold Spritz spray, and I'm primarily going to be using this as a skin protectant around the perimeter of my head in the areas that I will be applying the glue. As usual, I will be using 91% isopropyl alcohol and some cotton balls. My favorite little clippy clamps to clip my hair out the way. Brushes, combs, the whole nine. I'm also going to be using some pomade and jam, and this is so that I can tame any flyaways and or the baby hairs that I will be applying around the perimeter of my head as well. For sharp tools, I will be using my favorite main choice, Shears. My old school, I don't even know the brand name of these shears, as well as a eyebrow razor for cutting the little baby hairs, cutting them shorter than what they currently are to help shape my forehead, because right now it's just straight. I'll also be using my handy dandy mirror, the one that I use all the time. And then my favorite, I guess, blow drying utensil, which is my small little baby fan. And the adhesive that I would be using for this tutorial is the Cling. It's the first one that I found. I also tend to like how this product wears after a week. It becomes easier and easier to remove compared to a lot of other adhesives that I've used. And so before we jump into this, your girl's gonna have to moisturize these lips. And as usual, I will be using my Victoria's Secret lip gloss. What I'm gonna do first is clip these hairs out the way. I already have my hair secured down underneath this wig with a cap, and this wig is held onto my head right now with a band. And yeah, it's on there nicely already, but I like to use adhesive with this method because I feel as though it's easier whenever I am out somewhere. Instead of just having the adhesive without the band, I like to add the adhesive with the band for extra protection. So with that being said, I'm going to cut the ears of the wig off first, like the ear tabs. And I think I'm going to zoom you all in for this part so that you all can see exactly what I'm doing. Oh my God, like y'all are deep in my personal space. What I'm going to do is, like I said, I've zoomed you in into how I go about cutting the ears off. So what I do is pull down, not like tight, but taut. See, looking here now, you can see where my ear is, right? So what we're gonna do is cut along this line down to like right here. So I'm gonna cut all of that off. Let me lift this little piece up. If it is easier for you all, I do suggest using scissors for this process. And now what I'm gonna do is clamp that hair away like that. And so the hair is clamped away. I can easily see where my the line, all right, I don't want to cover it because I want you all to see it. So now I'm just going to cut right there. And be careful not to cut the hairs. Sometimes you will, but just try your best not to. All right. And what I'm going to do is lift it up so that at this point I'm going to cut down near the back, but making sure I don't cut any of the threads. So I leave some of that space. All right. And then I pull like this to remove any excess hair from the wig. And now what we're going to do is make sure that our ear isn't being, like the lace isn't cutting into our ear. And yes, my ear is small, don't judge me. But no, the lace isn't cutting into my ear, which lets me know that this is cut perfectly. And you see that the sideburns stop right here. And that's good for me. That's personally good for me. So what I'm going to do now is the exact same thing to the other side. The exact same thing that I did on this side, I'm going to do to the other side. All right, so now that both sides are cut, what I'm going to do is move the hairs out of my way, like the side hairs. I'm just going to make sure there's no excess hairs that I need to cut. And as you see, everything is exactly where it needs to be for my level of comfort. If you need to cut up anywhere, feel free to do so. But right now, I'm just going to leave it there. So at this point, after I've cut that area, what I'm going to do, and I think I mentioned this in my previous video, is at times you will find that the ears will tend to shed up because we just cut that lace. So what I love to do, that I should have included in the beginning of this video, is apply some Frey Check to that space. And then I'm going to let that Frey Check set. Yeah, I'm going to let the Frey Check set instead of 5. I think I'm going to do like 3 minutes. So I'm going to zoom you all in again. That way you all can see what it is that, okay, let me make sure I'm in frame, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do is apply it to just this area that is cut in a thin amount, not too much. So what I'm going to do now is turn my fan on. And like I said, I'm going to let this dry for about 3 minutes or so. And while that is drying, I'm going to go in and start prepping my forehead for the glue application. Sometimes you just have to multitask, especially if you are on a time crunch. And because I'm trying to record more than one video today, I am on a time crunch, especially because I'm going out tonight. So yeah, I'm going to start prepping my forehead for the glue application. And make sure you're careful. Sorry if my fan is loud. Make sure you're careful with not lifting up your cap. I'm going to spray the spritz, making sure the nozzle doesn't have any dry product on it. I'm going to spray it onto my, instead of spraying it, maybe I should open the bottle. I think that'll make for an easier process. Yeah. I'm just going to add that around the perimeter. Yo, my forehead looks massive on here. It's crazy because it doesn't look like that in person. I mean, I have a big forehead, but geez, it looks ridiculously big right now. All right, so now that all of that is completely dry, it may look shiny, but that's because this spritz or foam hose spritz spray, it's just naturally shiny. So yeah, any excess or like that excess shine, eventually it'll go away. You could take some of it away with alcohol, but because my hair is blue, I think I'm gonna just let it go away on its own. But yeah, now that everything is dry, what I'm gonna do is place the wig back onto my head, and I'm gonna make sure that I get it exactly where I'm comfortable with it being positioned. And remember, you don't want to pull your wig at all, like, with like your fingertips. You move it with the pads of your fingers to adjust it, not with the tips. All right, so now I'm liking the placement of it. What you can do is go in with a colored pencil, a white, brown, or skin colored toned pencil, and mark in locations in which you plan on placing your glue. But for those of you that are looking for an easier method, because eventually you may have to remove that those marks, what you can do is, like I said, I'm okay with my wigs being close to my brows, and that's because typically that's how my hairline is, especially on this side. So make sure you're placing your glue in front of your hairline, not on it, not close to it. Like, it has to be nicely in front of your hairline. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not going to cut the lace off yet. And that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to cut the lace yet if you're looking for this easier method. So I'm going to take the glue and I'm just going to dot, like just small little dots like that. Just like that. I'm not going to turn the fan on just yet. And with this glue, this adhesive, you have to work fast because it dries quick. So I'm just going to take my ring finger and smooth it out so that it's thin. In my other video, I also mentioned that you don't want to go in with the second layer until the first layer is completely dried. So now that that's completely dried, I'm going to go in with the second layer, and I'm going to be a little more generous with this layer. And again, you want to make sure your fingers are cleaned from that previous layer before you go in again. Otherwise, you're gonna, it's like the glue is gonna pull and tug because that first layer is already tacky. So now that it has set a little bit, what I'm gonna do, wait, let me see if I could adjust the lighting on here. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do is zoom you all in. There we have it. And I'm just going to go and apply the wig. Oh, I don't know if y'all can see it. In front of the glue, like not on top of it, but slightly in front of it. That way when it slides back, it lands directly where it's supposed to. Well, it adjusts itself directly where it's supposed to. And then this side. And then once that is done, I'm just going to take my comb and massage that in per usual. So I'm going to take my shears and just cut. But let me zoom you all in again. So what I'm going to do at this point is cut close to the hairline, but not on it. And like I said before, you don't want to do that, like cut on it, because again, that's how you make your frontal shed faster than they need to. And because I'm going to be using or utilizing baby hairs, it doesn't matter how I cut them. You could cut jagged, you could cut straight. It really doesn't matter. But you see, I'm leaving extra space so that I don't have my frontal bought in on me prematurely. Now at this point, what I'm going to do is get rid of this U shape that I have, or this little egg shape that I have going on. So I'm just going to pull some of these hairs down and then cut them to make like little baby hair pieces. You don't want too many of them and you don't want too little of them, because like the thing is, if they're long, more than likely they're going to end up shedding off on you. So yeah, it's just better to cut them short. That way they're just a little, like a tad bit stronger. And what I like to do is just move them out the way. And then apply some of my pomade to them and or my jam. Like move that down and then go in with my uncapped razor, like so. So yes, at this point, I'm going to go in with a little, like a crumb of Gorilla Snot, just to help me in taming these. So now what I'm going to do is try and remove that excess blue that's on my forehead from me adding these baby hairs. I guess that's like the terrible thing about doing this process with a colored wig. Yeah, like even it's even making like my baby hairs look darker than they actually are, because the gel mixed in with the baby hair, but that's fine. I mean the dye, the gel mixed in with the dye, but that's totally fine. So now I'm going to thin this frontal out just a tad bit. And that's because it's just looking a little too thick and I have just a little time right now to do so. So what I'm going to do is, with my favorite tweezers, I'm just going to go in behind where the hair has already been cut for baby hairs, I'm just going to go behind it and just start plucking randomly in random spaces. So yes, I'm just getting some more of this blue off my forehead. I'm pretty sure most of it's going to come off when I put on my makeup. So now what I'm going to do is position my hair into the position that I want it to be in for tonight. I'm going to make sure I don't pull or tug at anything. And then where my part is, I'm going to place a little of my Kenra pomade right there. Just a little of it. I'm going to brush that in as well. Like so. And I'm just going to go over it and let it set with, oh, actually, I'm going to cut down these little side pieces. And I'm going to go in and let it set with my scarf. And at this point, I'm going to not even concern myself with the little baby hairs because, as you see, like my hands are blue and they're a little blue, and if they get colored from my makeup, that's totally fine. And I'm going to make this tight enough so that it sets the hair, but not so tight that it gives me a headache. We don't want to get headaches, child. All right, so yeah, I'm just going to let this set as I'm doing my makeup. So I just took the head scarf off. The sun has set since I finished my makeup. Like, it's almost completely set, but this is what everything is looking like right now. My part is a lot flatter, like the frontal is a lot flatter. So what I think I'm going to do is go in with a few bumps and flat iron it just so it can be like just a little straighter at the root. All right, so I'm officially complete and finished with this hair. It has been like seriously forever. I recorded a video on how I did this. It was like definitely a random video, but how I did my makeup. So hopefully you all like that and find interest in that video. I included a few snippets of like some Snapchat footage that I have from my trip. Anyway, yeah, hopefully when I wash my face like later tonight, I get some of that blue out because it's just annoying me. Other than that, I love the way that this has turned out. And I'm pretty sure, like I said, you all who aren't familiar with applying lace, you definitely would find it easier to do it this way rather than the traditional way. And this application only works if your lace is brand new. Like, otherwise it's just a little more difficult to do it that way, since that's the easiest way I found for me to teach people how to apply it. So yeah, I am loving this blue. Like, I am loving it. It looks good on my skin. This might be like my new color. I don't know, I might make a bob out of some more hair. But yeah, until next time, guys, hopefully you like this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, share it, and comment in the below bar. So yeah, until next time, guys.